What's worse, being poor and content, or being rich and miserable? Most of you would pick rich and miserable in a heartbeat. At least I'd be miserable in a nice house, right? But Ecclesiastes 6 is about to tell you something so dark, so uncomfortable, that it's going to flip your entire value system upside down. Solomon says there's something worse than poverty. There's something worse than failure. There's something worse than never achieving your dreams. And if you're successful but unfulfilled, you're living it right now. Ecclesiastes 6:1-2. There is another evil I have seen under the sun, and it weighs heavily upon mankind. God gives a man riches, wealth, and honor, so that he lacks nothing his heart desires. Yet God does not grant him the ability to enjoy them. Instead, a stranger will enjoy them. This is futile and a grievous affliction. Read that again, slowly. God gives you everything. Riches, wealth, honor. You lack nothing your heart desires. You've got it all. But, and this is the gut punch, God doesn't give you the ability to enjoy it. And then someone else ends up enjoying what you worked for. This is the highest form of torture. You finally made it. You achieved everything. You got the success, the wealth, the recognition, and it feels empty. You can't enjoy it. You go through the motions. You have the vacation house, but it stresses you out. You have the achievements, but they don't satisfy. You have everything your heart thought it wanted, and you're more miserable than when you had nothing. And Solomon calls this an evil that weighs heavily upon mankind. Not just unfortunate, evil. This is a grievous affliction. You know why? Because at least the person who never achieved their dreams can still dream. They can still hope that maybe one day they'll be happy. But you already arrived at the destination and discovered there's nothing there. Now what? Where do you go when you've already reached the top and it's hollow? Verse 3-5. A man may father 100 children and live for many years. Yet no matter how long he lives, if he is unsatisfied with his prosperity and does not even receive a proper burial, I say that a stillborn child is better off than he. For a stillborn enters in futility and departs in darkness, and in darkness its name is covered. The child, though neither seeing the sun nor knowing anything, has more rest than that man. This is brutal. Solomon just said that a stillborn child, a baby who never drew breath, never saw light, never experienced anything, is better off than a successful person who can't enjoy their success. Let that sink in. Never existing is better than existing with success you can't enjoy. Why? Because the stillborn at least has rest. The successful but miserable person, no rest. Ever. You're lying awake at 3 a.m. in your expensive house with your impressive career and your admirable achievements, and you're thinking, why do I feel this way? I have everything I'm supposed to want. Why am I not happy? Verse 6. Even if he lives 1,000 years twice over without enjoying his prosperity, do not all go to the same place. Even if you live 2,000 years, which is absurd, impossible, if you're not enjoying your life, what's the point? You're just extending misery. And in the end, you die just like everyone else. The successful, miserable person and the never successful person both end up in the same grave. Now here's where I need to pause and address something, because some of you are sitting here thinking, great, so success is pointless, might as well give up. No, that's not what Solomon's saying. Look at verse 7-9. Verse 7-9. All a man's labor is for his mouth, yet his appetite is never satisfied. What advantage, then, has the wise man over the fool? What gain comes to the poor man who knows how to conduct himself before others? Better to see with one's own eyes than to crave what the soul desires. This too is futile, a pursuit of the wind. All a man's labor is for his mouth. You work to eat, but eating doesn't ultimately satisfy. You work to accumulate, but accumulation doesn't fill the void. Your appetite is never satisfied. Not because you don't have enough, but because appetite itself is insatiable. What advantage has the wise man over the fool? If neither can enjoy what they have, what's the difference? The wise person who's miserable and the fool who's miserable are equally miserable. Wisdom without the ability to enjoy life is just informed suffering. And then verse 9. Better to see with one's own eyes than to crave what the soul desires. Better to appreciate what you have than to constantly crave what you don't have. Better to find contentment in your current reality than to chase the next thing thinking that will finally satisfy you. This is the secret most successful people discover too late. Contentment isn't found in achievement. Contentment is a gift from God that exists independently of your circumstances. You can have everything and be miserable. You can have very little and be joyful. The difference isn't in what you possess, it's in whether God has given you the ability to enjoy what you possess. And that's terrifying, isn't it? Because it means you're not in control. You can hustle, grind, achieve, accumulate, but whether you actually enjoy any of it, that's in God's hands, not yours. You can build the empire, but God decides if you get to enjoy ruling it. Here's the question you need to ask yourself. Are you so focused on getting more that you've lost the ability to enjoy what you already have? Are you constantly thinking, when I get that, then I'll be happy? But that keeps moving further away. Are you successful on paper but empty inside? Because if you are, you're experiencing exactly what Solomon warned about. You've got the riches, the wealth, the honor. You lack nothing your heart desires, but God hasn't given you the ability to enjoy it. And that's a grievous affliction. Here's what you can do this week. Practice enjoying what you already have. Not acquiring more, not achieving more, not climbing higher. Just enjoy what's in front of you. Your meal, your home, your people, your work. If you can't enjoy those, getting more of them won't help. And here's the harder truth. If you've achieved success and you still feel empty, that emptiness is a gift. I know that sounds insane. But that emptiness is God's mercy, not His curse. Because that emptiness is what prevents you from making an idol out of your achievements. That restlessness is what keeps you searching for the only thing that actually satisfies. The successful person who's content in their success, they've made an idol and they're worshiping it. The successful person who's still empty, they're being protected from idolatry. They're being driven to look beyond, under the sun, for meaning above the sun. Solomon had everything, more than you'll ever have, and couldn't enjoy it. And he's writing this so you don't waste your life chasing what he already proved doesn't satisfy. Success without the ability to enjoy it is worse than never succeeding. A stillborn has more rest than a person who achieves everything and enjoys nothing. That's the dark truth of Ecclesiastes 6. Your achievements can't give you joy. Only God can. And if He hasn't given you that joy, no amount of success will manufacture it. Stop trying to earn what can only be given. Stop hustling for what can't be achieved through hustle. And maybe, just maybe, start asking God for the one thing that actually matters. The ability to enjoy the life He's already given you. Subscribe, because Solomon's about to tackle wisdom and folly next, and it's going to challenge everything you think you know about being smart. Thanks for watching.